Oh my God, guys, this is fun. I like this. I never stop surprising myself and shocking myself with shit that I come up with. So I'm deciding to try something new. I was literally today. It wasn't something I was thinking about. It was literally this morning. I was on the way taking my daughter to work, and I'm like, generations. That's what we're gonna talk about. And I'm like, oh, we are. That's what we're gonna talk about. I had to check in with my higher self, make sure I wasn't losing it. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'm hearing white out. Something to do with white out, whiting something out. But anyway, so I picked up on you guys in millennials, in the millennial generation, and I started getting something about GI Joes, of course, obviously, GI Joes, and load your guns. And honestly, you know what I'm feeling? It's a lot different than millennials, but there's some similarities. There's some connections here. I also want to do one for Zennials, but I think Zennials could watch Millennials and Gen X's. I think you could fit in both. If you're here watching and you're a Zennial, check up the dates on Zennials. But this is specifically for I'm hearing GI Joes, Generation X. So I'm gonna do a GI Joes, but or GI Jane. Even the women are stepping up. I'm hearing. Why do I feel like there's like an army of you guys getting together, rallying, getting up? Like we ride at dawn. Okay, we are going. I'm hearing something to do with the Marines, something to do with Carpe Diem. I don't know. Also, I'm seeing like a fight, but not between Gen X's. It's like an army of Gen X's coming together, or a brood, just like the cicadas, like coming together. I'm hearing lazy motherfuckers, but it's Gen X's thinking that about the majority of society, being like, we've been quiet too long. We've been quiet too long. We're finding our voice again, taking your power back. We're not following in line, not following suit, almost like going against the grain. Emphasis on that phrase, against the grain, going against what you've been doing, what you've been taught, what you've been told, being quiet. It's like no more standing up, talking about it, saying what we, not being afraid of being canceled, not being afraid of being talked about, not being afraid of shit, really, not being afraid of your government, not being afraid of politics, not being afraid of your family, not being afraid of losing anything. I mean, I'm hearing I'm going to die anyway. I feel like a fight about to ensue, or a stand, somebody taking a stand, something stand, something to do with Eminem. But this is like also just like, I'm not biting my tongue anymore. Cat's got your tongue. It's like I'm not being a pussy. I feel like it feels agitated. It feels irritated. It feels like the Generation X. I like it. I'm fucking here for it. I mean, this is empowering. This is nice. This is the big brothers and sisters out there. This is those who are like, I appreciate, for the most part, unless they had fucked up baby boomer parents, but it's like, I appreciate what my parents did, or those who raised me, unless they were, again, fucked up, unless they kind of turned a blind eye where they should have stood up. It's like, I think the Gen X is saying, we raised ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We raised ourselves, and we're fucking tired of this shit. Like, we just kind of thought we did what we had to do, but we've wasted a lot of time, or we've just set back and kind of, no, fuck that. I'm hearing fuck that. The whole energy of this message is just like, fuck that. We're gonna GI Joe it. We're gonna GI Jane it. We're going to, what did I write down? Load our guns, basically. Whether it's actually loading guns and fighting back, taking a stand, or it's like, you know what I mean? Maybe like a protest, or like a rally, or a boycott, or just like, let's come together, let's fight, let's get it out. Now I'm hearing talk of the town. I've heard talk throughout the ethers that this is going to be a thing anyway, but I'm getting like an actual whole ass generation that's tired of this shit, and then coming together with other generations, but like honestly leading. Like Generation X is, I'm hearing, on the rise and taking a lead, which is honestly a breath of fresh fucking air. It's like, thank you, because millennials got a lot of flack for trying to do shit like that. I mean, we were just trying to, because we didn't want to, and I mean, like, for a while it was like Gen X was just kind of staying quiet, and now they're like, fuck this, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this. I'm taking my power back. It's something to do with rights. I want my rights, or I'm going to say, fuck your rights, or whatever. If you got the right to do this, and I got the right to say this. If you got the right to blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of here for it. I'm here for it. It's like true leadership, right? So honestly, you could see a lot of Gen Xers maybe even choosing to stand. they're taking a stand in some way. You guys are taking a stand in some way, whether, I mean, I don't know what this could be in any area. You're not at all being the bigger person. I think you're being the better person, because you're choosing to not just turn the other cheek. You're choosing to be what you came here to be. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of Gen Xers really are leaders, and why does it feel like for so long you guys have been quiet and you're not fucking doing that anymore? I don't care what it is. I feel like you're not letting shit pass in relationships. You're not letting people think that they can just talk to you any type of way. You're not just falling in line and doing. Some of y'all are going to stop voting. You're going to stop voting. You're gonna maybe even create a movement of some type. So what's up with the fingers? Something's going on with the fingers here, because I'm like really noticing something about the fingers. I don't know if it's just you've started to notice something about your fingers lately, like the wrinkles on them, the lines on them, perhaps like a lack of hydration, something to do with the hands. You guys remember the Never-Ending Story? The original Never-Ending Story, and he was like, it was like the Rock Man, and he was like, these hands, something to do with hands, I don't know. Arms, hands, armed. Some of y'all going out and buying guns. Some of y'all are felons, and you're still getting guns because you're like, fuck it, fuck the laws here, fuck it's lawlessness, trying to give us laws. No, I'm not saying any of that, or am I? I don't know. I'm just channeling right now. But it's like, I'm not going to abide by a crooked ass fucking law. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. When there's a bunch of fucking pedophiles in office, allegedly, I'm just channeling, and all this. I'm not going to do that. They're turning a blind eye to this. They're letting all this slide and letting all this. So fuck it. I'm going to find my voice. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to rise. So it's like rise of the Generation X, really. It feels like a fight. I'm seeing a tidal wave. I'm literally seeing like water pour up into the ocean, like Poseidon, really, just like huge, massive, just, I'm not going to obey. I'm not going to fall in line. I'm not going to follow. So I'm going to die anyway. I'm going to die for my country. I'm going to die for what I stand for and believe in. And I'm going to die for my people. It's like the people rising up against their own government, or the people rising all around the fucking world, I tell you. People rising up. I'm here in California raising. It's like I am rising up. We've been nothing but divided. We say united, we stand divided. We're nothing but divided. Right? So we're going to come together and we're going to fight. And instead of it being like, oh, we're saying this about the millennials and we're saying this about these generations and this, and all we care about is work and making money and doing this, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Why would I do that? We're just getting used and abused and feeding our children shit because that's all we have to feed them. But yet we're tired at the end of each day, and all we do is work for what? To be controlled and fed poison. I mean, allegedly. I'm just saying, because that's what I'm channeling. And so it's like, we're not going to put up with that anymore. I don't know. I'm fucking here for it. Whatever it is, Generation X has something major coming, and there's like this, it's almost like the inner warrior coming out. And I feel a lot of women too. This isn't just men. This is women. This could even be woman-led. I mean, just saying like, fuck it. If you have the right to express this, and you have the right to say this, then I have the right to say what I believe and what I feel. I literally feel an entire generation of Generation X saying, I don't even care if I die for this. Everything that I've just kind of thought that I was standing for, I don't believe in it anymore. It's corrupt, it's crooked, it's fucked up, which ties into millennials, because millennials got that they can kind of see, but they're tired. It was almost like millennials are getting fatigued and tired and like battle weary, because they've been in the battle, really. Even if people haven't seen millennials as having been in the battle, they fucking have. Trying to like see some sort of change, but like somewhere, some way, something went wrong and they got tired because they were doing it all on their own, they felt like. But it's like Generation X is like, hold my beer or hold my water, like I got this, y'all take a step back, we fucking got this, don't worry, we're doing it for the millennials. Although they were against them at first, you guys were against them at first, some of you, not all of you, but I'm getting that. We thought they were the problem, but it's like, no, our fucking leaders are the problem. Maybe even some baby boomers. Some of you could be going against baby boomers. I can't speak. Isn't there one above? What's above baby boomers? Is there even like a? Let's see. The silent generation was from 1925 to 1945. So the silent generation and the baby boomers, it's like, I don't know, you could have some of Generation X going against them. Or just kind of saying, I'm not going to fall in line anymore. Like it's like almost like Gen X is doing it for all the younger generations. Like, willing to take the fall, willing to go down. Like, that's some fucking real shit right there. Like saying, I'm gonna reset this whole fucking world because we're tired of it. We've set back long enough. We did what we thought we had to do. We didn't want to go to prison. We didn't want to go back to prison. We didn't want to go to jail. So we did what we thought we had to do. We did what we should have done. You know, we didn't want to go back to jail. We didn't want to get in trouble, you know, for not paying our taxes. For not doing this, for not doing this. But honestly, at the end of the day, we're doing all this just to die at the end of the day anyway. Like, we're tired. And we understand now, I'm hearing Generation X, we understand the Zennials are tired. We know the Millennials are tired. We know that the Gen Zs are tired. And we know that the little alphas growing up, they're going to be tired. Like, we see a lot of fucked up shit going on. And we're going to take a stand. And if we die, if we get locked up, if we go down for it, we're willing to do it. Because something's got to fucking happen. No more. Literally had a fucking enough. It's almost like, you know, it's like maybe they've had their buttons pressed too much. I say they as in you, as in the Generation X or whoever you are watching. Maybe you're connected to one. Somebody somewhere, you know, a Generation X, they're fucking tired of it. And there's like this, it's like shaking up a Coke bottle, really. It's just kind of like somebody's been pressing the button on the lawnmower too long and that shit's gonna flood. It's just gonna flood. Here we go with the water reference again, kind of just like, whew. Like, wow. I'm hearing like I may not come back from this. Like, these are some people willing to die. And not the usual, like, you know, I'm willing to die. Like, I'm willing to die for my country. For what country? The country who doesn't even care about you. The country who doesn't. Like, once you're willing to die for them, you're willing to do all of this for them. But what are they doing for you? Feeding you poison and feeding your children poison and poisoning them in schools with the shit that they're giving them. They're calling it knowledge, allegedly. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And all of this. Not caring about the veterans, not caring about this. Generation X is like, what the fuck did I do all this for? I'm not doing it anymore. So they're telling the younger generation, whether it's their sisters or brothers, just the people in general, the people they teach, the people around them, the people they work with, you know, they've always thought they were the problem, or they were thinking they were the problem because it was all this programming, but they're waking up. It's like Generation X is waking up, and they're like actually waking up. They used to like make fun of, you guys used to maybe not like or understand the woke generation, but you understand what woke is now, except for this is the real type fucking woke. Damn. You know how Eminem goes like, it's the return of the, oh wait, no way, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he? Yeah, he did. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, the fuck he did. It's like, no, we're not gonna do this anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm hearing the forgotten generation. It's almost like you guys feel like you were just kind of like forgotten, but yet you're just here doing everything you're supposed to do and falling in line and working, you know, until you're fucking exhausted every day and until you're sick and you're tired, and now you're sick and fucking tired is what it is. Wow. Could even be finding that things change for you as far as relationships. Like, you're not even concerned in them anymore. Some of you, if you are, it's like, if that person don't get on the bandwagon, it's bye-bye for you too, because I'm done. Like, I don't know. It's almost like, that's how you know somebody is, that's the type of people you want to be led by. People who really aren't afraid to die. For the truth. I mean, they're going to die anyway. We're dying slowly. That's what Generation X is saying. We're dying slowly. Everything they're doing, it's all a lie. And I'm tired of the lies. We do it, we get locked up. We do it, we get punished. We get taxed. We say something, we get canceled. Meanwhile, They're out there trafficking children, allegedly, and leading our country, or getting on the big screen and calling themselves celebrities, allegedly. Meanwhile, we don't pay our taxes, or we don't go to work and work every day just to be able to barely afford our fucking rent or our mortgage. And we slip up once, we run a fucking red light. We don't do this, we don't do that, and we're punished? No, fuck you, bro, is what I'm hearing. Oh my God. I mean, this is, wow, I guess I needed to do that. I've never done this before. If you're new here and you're just now clicking on the channel, I've been on a little hiatus for a while because, well, obviously, for obvious reasons. You know, there's just a lot going on in the world, and nothing now that's never happened before. It's just different now because everything's fucking televised. Everything's on phones and AI generated, and it's just all, it's not all nothing new. It's just the way that it is presented now. It's just in a different form, in a format, in a font, you know. It's just all much more in our faces, and it's like, well, fuck it then. You know, I'm really gonna die for something now because we're dying anyway. This is what Generation X is saying. This is leadership. This is quality. This is teaching. This is fed the fuck up. This is I've had a fucking enough. This is I see the truth now, and I'm not doing it anymore. This is even people here. I'm picking up on a generation here, and not for everybody in the Generation X, but this is a large majority of Generation X here that's waking up, where it's like, you know, maybe even some people were really into the politics before, maybe even going along with certain things and beliefs, like really hard for the left side or the right side or this and that, and now somebody's like, I'm not doing any of it. I see what the fucking truth of shit is now. And not only am I not going to do it, I'm going to influence all the generations under me who I've been steadily judging, thinking they were the problem. Now I realize what the fucking problem is, and I'm not going to be a part of it. And I'm going to tell all the generations under me, hold my fucking beer, hold my wine, hold my water, whatever you guys do. Some of y'all are going to be like, look, they're feeding us poison. They got us into, you know, doing all this, so then we're tired and we're exhausted at the end of each day, or we think that it's like party life, so, you know, now we're all a bunch of alcoholics. Now we're all a bunch of smokers. Now we just want to, now we're not only killing ourselves with our food and the fucking pollution in the air and all the shit they're spraying with these fucking planes, allegedly, but the fucking shit that we're doing because it's like, oh, it's fun. But it's like half the shit they sell in America, even if we're just talking about America for a second, allegedly, they're not even selling that shit in other fucking countries. Why? Because there's a fucking agenda, and we've just been falling in line, thinking one side's different than, no, they're all the fucking same. And they're all in on this little secret, allegedly. I'm just channeling. But I don't have to be a part of it. You see, the truth is, they're killing us anyway. So I'm going to tell all the younger generations what I did, what we did as a generation, what we thought we had to do. And I'm going to tell them, you can do it. And then this is how you're going to end up. The likelihood of you ending up like this, it's high. So you have a fucking choice, even though the world doesn't want you to think that you have a choice. You have a choice to be a slave to the fucking government that you're under, wherever you're at in the world, because this isn't just America. This is people all over saying fucking enough is enough. I'm hearing sick, twisted fucks. Like, it's getting angrier as I'm going on. Even I feel like I'm not a Generation X, but I feel like I've taken on Generation X energy. Like, I feel like it. Like, I'm sick of this fucking shit. We're not glorifying Hollywood anymore. We're not glorifying any of it. We don't even need to categorize it. We're not glorifying, we're not glamorizing the fucking having this type job and this type job. Just to work yourself your whole life away, so you spend less time with your children, less time with your family, less time away from home, and you still can't afford to fucking live and survive. And the little bit that you do, you can barely afford to pay for enough roof over your fucking head, or you have to stay in a miserable relationship, although you may convince yourself that it's love or we're working on it, but really it's just because it's convenient, because it's 2 incomes coming in. Otherwise, the rest of us are just fucking single out here up in this bitch ass fucking place we call fucking society. Okay, let me just keep going. Meanwhile, the shit they're teaching them in school, our fucking own children, our little baby brothers and sisters, and the generations to come after them, is what I'm hearing. It's like, this isn't shit that they can even, they're not teaching them how to get a credit score and stuff that they say is really important. And everything that they make is important as you become an adult. They don't teach that shit in school. They teach you shit you're not even going to fucking use. Everything is designed so we can be more controlled, and it's getting more and more and more. And Generation X is saying, allegedly, I'm not doing it anymore. And we are willing to die for it because we're going to die anyway. So it's not about just love. It's not about this. No, it's time for fucking change. This whole Generation X message is the epitome of stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Damn. You know how they have those guards outside the king's, the castle, and wherever that is? You know, you may see videos about that pop up every now and then. You see the guards, and they're on the horses, and people come up to, like, pet the horse, and the horse bites them and shit. Or you see, like, the cute little kids that dress up like the guards, and then they stomp their feet. That's like a whole Generation X right now, or at least a massive group of Generation X standing and saying, I'm not going to guard these motherfuckers no more, though. I'm going to guard the people. Because we've all been fucking lied to. We've all been misled. We've all been controlled. We've all been hushed. We're still constantly hushed, allegedly. Taking away our freedoms, taking away our rights, making us scared to speak out and say anything, or you get silenced, you get canceled, you get shamed. You get locked up, you get killed. They say you're suicidal. I mean, they do a lot of things. They have a lot of tactics, allegedly. You know, we're not going to put up with it anymore. Fuck it. We're already getting older, and we don't want to just wither away like our parents have done. For what? This is like morals. This is like Generation X standing on morals. What's right and what's wrong. I mean, I feel like Generation X has been trying to do that, but they're seeing what's really right and what's wrong now. It's like, I'm hearing right in front of our faces. It's been right in front of our faces. It's almost like a rude awakening. That's probably where the anger comes from, is I definitely sense a lot of anger coming from Generation X once they have this awakening, because it's like, wow. I'm going to leave it there. That's what we got. Let me know if you guys like this. If you like this kind of way that I don't know, I guess trying things out. I don't know. There was no rhyme or rhythm. There was no planning to this. I literally just decided this today. And in fact, it was just like my higher self was like, get on here and talk about generations and do almost like a message for generations instead of doing zodiacs right now. And I'm like, okay. Well, yeah, so I'm going to just go in on it. Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. And here we are. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.